Is Planet X an internet hoax? Or is it a fact? Well, you can say that. You can believe in that. But let me tell you, many renowned scientists on Earth have said that it actually exists and will cross by the Earth. The position of the two planets at the crossing will be so close that the Earth's seismic and magnetic activities will be disrupted, leading to global-scale apocalypses, which will wipe out the majority of humanity as well as life on Earth. What's up, guys? It is JT at X Science, and for those who are still in denial of Planet X, many scientists, including astronomers, physicists, and the like, have spoken out directly or hinted at the existence of a rogue planet or a system of planets that is on a trajectory heading straight towards the Earth. For those who are not aware of the topic, we are talking about another planet in our solar system, or our binary solar system, with a star named Nemesis. This planet is called Planet X, Nibiru, Wormwood, and many different names across times and culture. The one thing in common is that it periodically travels through our solar system, during which time it will cross with the Earth, and this will be a judgment day for you and me, but probably not for the elite. Of course, big governments and agencies are very well aware of this. In 1983, NASA made headlines on the Washington Post and the New York Times when it announced that the IRAS infrared satellite had discovered Planet X lurking somewhere beyond Pluto. The strange thing is, 1 week later, NASA retracted all the announcement, and President Reagan made this part of the US national security mandate and forbid any institution or agency to address this in public. The stranger thing is, since then, it is rumored that the US have been building secret underground shelters. Of course, they would not let the public know of what incoming, because how can you control a crowd when the crowd knows that they are coming to an inevitable doom? They, of course, keep us in the dark about the position of the shelters and keep it to themselves. It is even leaked that there is an underground rail system linking the capital to an underground shelter under the Denver airport. You can do research about it yourself if you don't believe me, but I have to warn you, there will be a lot of versions and distortion because, of course, they are supposed to be classified information. Russia and China are also rumored to have been building shelters and cities in preparation for war-ending events. Now you might be thinking, if a whole planet is heading towards Earth, how is it possible that nothing strange is happening? Well, that's because the authorities are hiding everything from us. One thing we can all notice is extreme climate events and the ice cap melting that have been attributed to global warming. The second thing is the unusual and dramatic increase in earthquakes and seismic activities around the world. We are of course told that they do not increase, but this is because the United States Geological Society lowered the magnitude scale by 1 and successfully underreported the number of unusually loud earthquakes. Volcanic eruptions has been on the rise as well. You can check out our video on our channels that we talk about the current eruption in Hawaii, which have been going on for 3 months already. Last but not least, this is not very commonly known, but many governments have been spraying substance into the atmosphere. I am not sure what these substances are, but what I know is that these things create a cover of clouds and mist look-alike. The purpose is quite clear. They are trying to hide something in the sky from the rest of the world. Now you have probably heard of the two suns phenomenon, and let me tell you, that is what they are trying to hide. The two suns phenomenon is not an optical illusion, but the second sun that we see is in fact the system of Planet X. From what we know, the sun is either a miniature star or a comet planet, as the famous Chilean astrophysicist Carlos Munoz Ferrada called it. This thing is said to be composed of a lot of iron oxide, and therefore it looks red. Therefore, As the system approaches, it would resemble a second sun in the sky. Now, speaking of Carlos Mundo Ferranda, he is very well known for having calculated correctly many natural events on Earth and in space. For example, in January 19th of the 1939, he forecasted that there would be a disastrous earthquake in Chile on the 24th of January of that same year. And guess what happened? It did happen. A huge earthquake shook Chile for 18 seconds, killing 40,000 people. He successfully calculated many other terrestrial extreme events. But that's not all. He even forecast correctly that Halley Comet's orbit would alter, and we would spend more time closer to the Sun in 1996. What's more terrifying is that his said numero is real. He called it Hercolugus, and he said it was coming. He first mentioned it in the 1940s, 4 decades before NASA's first ever announcement. Now you can watch this very interesting footage, which was an interview with him in his last years.
Algo muy interesante es que usted hizo un estudio y trazó con cálculos y con todo la órbita de este cometa planeta. Porque usted nos habla y nos dice que es cometa planeta porque su movimiento no es algo normal.
No.
Que tiene unas velocidades.
Es un cometa planeta porque tiene órbita elíptica como cometa y porque tiene gran masa.
Como planeta.
Como planeta. Yo lo llamo entonces planeta cometa. O sea, un planeta con cola.
Explica Muñoz Ferrada que este gran astro que se acerca cargado de energía cósmica no cumple las leyes de la mecánica celeste establecidas. Posee una órbita elíptica y viaja entre nuestro Sol y un Sol negro que se encuentra a 32 billones de kilómetros.
Entonces aquí en este gráfico usted nos muestra, en el gráfico, ¿verdad?, de que en este lado está la Tierra, la órbita de nuestra Tierra alrededor del Sol.
Sí, señor.
Y que él penetra en la órbita terrestre, aquí, pasando muy cerca de nuestra Tierra. Entonces tarda
A 14 millones de kilómetros.
14 millones de kilómetros. Entonces acá usted, en su gráfico, nos presenta lo que es la estrella muerta, o el Sol muerto. En ese Sol muerto, él gira.
Aquí a 92 kilómetros por segundo.
Entonces, además de esos 92 kilómetros por segundo, él tiene otra velocidad, que es la más aterradora, ¿verdad? Que es la que se mueve muy rápido.
Tiene 3 velocidades, hombre.
Muñoz Ferrada confirma que este planeta viaja a 3 velocidades. Una alrededor del Sol Negro a 92 kilómetros por segundo. Otra cerca de nuestro Sol a 76 kilómetros por segundo. Y una tercera velocidad máxima.
Lo máximo lo tiene en la mitad de la órbita. A 300 kilómetros por segundo. O sea, 1/1000 de la velocidad de la luz.
Eso es rápido.
Pronto acontecerá un evento que permitirá que el Hercólogos pueda verse a simple vista.
Este cuerpo no va a pasar desapercibido, todo el mundo lo va a ver.
Y va a haber gran confusión.
Más que confusión.
Y le van a dar un sinnúmero de interpretaciones a este asunto.
Muchas.
Los astrónomos dirán que lo que se verá es Marte o cualquier otro planeta, pero en realidad es el Hercólogos.
¿Qué consecuencias sobre nuestro planeta?
Las más terroríficas.
Luego,
Cada cual arrégleselas como pueda.
Muñoz Ferrada pronostica 3 grandes terremotos.
He calculado 3 puntos triangulados de alta sismicidad que se aproximan. El norte de la costa del Mediterráneo, Francia y España. la costa sur del Pacífico, de Valparaíso a Arequipa, y Java, Sumatra y Borneo. 3 puntos. Estos puntos van a ser terremotos de carácter volcánico.
El Hercólubus causará devastadores terremotos y provocará una gran transformación.
El gran campo gravitacional que trae ese astro nuevo, que hace 13.000 años que no penetró y que 13.000 años atrás fue los tiempos de la Atlántida perdida, tiene resonancia y efectos que a los reflejos, que a la debilidad. Queda el gran cambio.
Ese gran cambio, el cual usted viene estudiando desde 1940, ¿verdad? Que viene estudiando ese astro. Van 59 años de documentación. Ese gran cambio es humano, además es a la Tierra, porque indica un cambio de polos.
Es geofísico y humano.
Geofísico y humano. Y se habla de que va a haber un cambio de los polos magnéticos de la Tierra.
Son tantas las cosas que lamentable la humanidad no está preparada. El cambio viene. La destrucción viene. Y, más que nada, afectará a la humanidad en su existencia, en su producción, en su subsistencia misma.
So to sum up the main points, Planet X is, according to Farada, a comet planet, so called because it has the mass of a planet, but an orbit like a comet. This thing does not meet the celestial law that is known to man, and it will crosses by the Earth so close that the naked eyes can see it. Mr. Farada also calculated 3 major earthquake points when Hercolubus arrived, which are the northern areas of the Mediterranean, the southern areas of the Pacific, and Java, Sumatra. You might be wondering, why would a crossing comet planet cause terrestrial seismic disasters? Well, it's simple astronomy. The system of planet X has gravity. That's basic physics. And its gravity is more powerful than that of the Earth, as it approaches, and it is approaching. This causes the Earth's lighter outer core to stall and alter its flow, thus disrupting the normal pattern of the Earth's magnetic activities. This, together with the direct effects from gravity, increases the Earth's wobble, which is, for your information, the tilt in the Earth's rotating axis. What does this do, you say? Anomalies and stretch in the tectonic plates resulting in massive earthquakes, which will soon become the new norm. And what follows earthquakes? Tsunami, volcanic eruptions, mass extinction. Yes, in case you don't know, a major volcanic eruption can throw into the atmosphere more pollutant than humans can ever do. A volcanic eruption caused 1 out of the 6 mass extinctions, and another one brought the human population down to 26,000. Volcanoes are no joke, folks. And that's not the end. As the system of Nibiru arrives, its debris and asteroids will enter the Earth's gravitational fields, and the Earth, already devastated by earthquakes and volcanoes, will have to suffer a comet rain. A reminder for you, asteroid impact killed off all the known avian dinosaurs. So it is legit to fear this happening because it will trigger a series of mass extinction causing events, and that spell our doom. Another warning, quite a subtle one, that we received recently is from an English physicist named Brian Cox. Mr. Cox teaches physics and astronomy at the University of Manchester. A bit of background information. Mr. Cox is publicly known as a denier of Planet X. He has publicly ridiculed the theory. Yet we need to be mindful here, because these official scientists and institutions depend on the governments for their livelihood. Not to mention, addressing Nibiru directly is forbidden because of national security. Therefore, it is very likely that all the denial that we see are forced on them by the power that be. Why I am saying this in the case of Cox? Well, he was featured in a BBC documentary in which he explained how asteroid brought water to the Earth and caused the non-avian dinosaurs to go extinct. Then, as the end of the video approaches, the cameras, which were pointing outside a window on the train, pan toward the sky and reveal two suns behind the tree line. Two suns behind the tree line. So they are definitely not lens flares, nor can they be photoshopped. Because why would you spend that much time and effort making a video of two suns when you are a public denier of the phenomenon? And that is strange because BBC and Cox himself let that scene pass by at the editings and be published. We all know the second sun is approaching Nibiru, and so this act must be a subtle hint to warn the public that Planet X is actually real. It is not an internet hoax, as these scientists are forced to accuse it of being one. Also, if Nibiru wasn't real, why would NASA keep sending out its top scientists to, say, debunk the issue? I mean, why debunk something unreal? If it's not real, just deny it once and stay silent and let it sink for good. Yet, its top scientists keep publicly trying to debunk and deny Planet X's existence and arrival. I'm talking here about Dr. David Morrison. He is a senior scientist for NASA, and he's recently told the Washington Post that he was sick and tired of having to explain to the world that there is no Planet X, that there never have been a Planet X, and presumably never will be. He supported his claim with the failed 2012 end of the world prophecies. The thing is, doomsday prophecies can never be exact, and a few Earth years is no error at all on a cosmic timeline. Anyway, you can watch him talk about this yourself in the following clip.
Hi, my name is David Morrison. I'm a NASA space scientist, and I want to talk to you very briefly about Nibiru. It's not real. Nibiru doesn't exist. We can't see it. We can't detect its gravity. And we don't see a signature of its previous passages because there weren't any. So please, get over it. Nibiru isn't real. Planet X isn't real. We don't have to worry about this hoax.
Yet, all of his denial and ridicule and even reported anger gave him in. Like I said before, it's not real. Why waste time going around and denying it? And if you truly believe it's not real, Dr. Harrison, why do you seem so tired of your own word? If I wasn't in this field and I didn't know better, I would probably not notice this, but really guys, he is forced to make all this rejection by NASA and the governments. So in short, I just want to say that whether these scientists publicly believe or not believe in Planet X, they all one way or another reveal that they do, and it will be the end of us. So guys, keep looking around you, look to the sky, and keep each other updated with anything that you have. We on our side also try our best to keep ourselves and our guys updated. So subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for the new videos very soon. In the meantime, stay safe guys. I am JT at X Science, signing out. Planet X is just some old material recycled all over and over again. When is Planet X going to arrive? If Planet X is really approaching the Earth, why does the date of its arrival keep being pushed back further and further? And this delay has been going on for a few decades. These are the most common and annoying counter-arguments that I met along my journeys of informing people about the Nibiru catalysm. Why is it annoying, you ask? Because the answer to these questions is crazily easy. and you only have to think a little bit about it. What's up guys, it's JT here at X Science, and today I'm going to tell you why a specific date for the arrival of Planet X cannot be known. As usual, let's start with the Planet X 101. So for those who don't know, Planet X is another planet in our solar system, or at least a binary solar system. It has 7 satellites orbiting it, as well as a cloud of space debris made up of a lot of iron oxide. You know, rust. And therefore it may look somewhat like a red cloud. Planet X is actually announced to the public by official authorities and agencies such as NASA as a theoretical planet or an internet hoax. However, there are many evidence supporting its existence. Even from before modern time, many mathematicians and physicists have calculated that there must be another planet beyond the known solar system, which causes the orbit of Neptune and Uranus to be somewhat distorted. And so when Pluto was discovered, it was still too small to affect the gas giants in any ways. I mean, it's obvious. Therefore, there must be something else beyond Pluto, big enough to push and pull the gas giants, and dangerous enough to be censored from the public. Then, in the 40s, we have the renowned Carlos Mundo Ferrada, the physicist who precisely predicted the Chilean earthquake, announcing that there is another object called a comet planet, as big as a planet but orbits like a comet, which will come into contact with the Earth sooner or later on its orbit. A while back, such an object may not fit our cosmic understanding, but we now know something like that is possible. In 2016, the exoplanet 8027H2 were discovered by Stephen Kane of the Project Genesis Ephemeris Refinement and Monitoring Surveys. This planet is as big as Jupiter, and it swings like a comet. At the farthest point, it was 2.5 astronomical units from its star. Note that 1 astronomical unit, or AU, is 1 half the distance from the Earth to the Sun. At the closest point, 8027H2 is only 0.06 AU away from its Sun. If it was in our solar system, its orbit would be the red eclipse in this photo. Pretty weird, isn't it? Now back to our friend X. In 1983, NASA announced that its infrared satellite discovered another planet as big as many Earth. What is strange here is that only 1 week later, all these reports were retracted, and the US President Reagan made it part of a national security mandate, forbidding many institutions and agencies to address the issues in public. Hence, we have all the reasons to believe in a NASA cover-up going on around here. Then, a while back, the IRAS project scientists once again announced the possibilities of another planet as massive as 10 Earth out there, after 30 years of staying silent. All in all, it is quite weird how the authorities approach the issues of Planet X. Now let's go through the dates that have been so far proposed for the arrival of Planet X. First, we must talk about Nancy Liarder. She is the first person in modern time to speak up about possible planetary collisions or near miss. She is from Wisconsin, and she's claimed that as a child she was kidnapped by aliens and received brain implants. She claimed that these aliens were called Zeta, and thus she established a forum called Zeta Talk. The G-Star told her that there will soon be a planetary collision, which will wipe out most of the life and civilizations on Earth. And she said the Judgment Day would occur in 2003. So there you have it. 2003 was the first ever date proposed for the arrival of Nibiru. However, it did not come, and people started to abandon this theory. However, Miss Nancy Liarder herself already said that she would not make the real date public because of social security reasons. I mean, it would make perfect sense if you think about it, because the end of the world would cause everyone to panic. Chaos and violence would break out everywhere, and so I think in this case, negligence is really a blessing. Or else we would destroy ourselves even before the planet X arrives. It is also reasonable to speculate that she is forced by the government to say so to the public. I mean, again, it's the matter of global securities and also group interests of the elites. They will not easily let it go around uncontrolled. A while later, the date of arrival is fused with the 2012 ends of the world event. However, I'm going to make it clear, the date 21st of December 2012 was only the end of the Mayan calendar, and it's not even a complete end, but only the end of a cycle. Never did it indicate that the world was ending. The whole thing was already pointed out to be a misunderstanding of the Mayan culture. People also become afraid because some astronomical alignment which took place at the same time. And so these afraid people do what afraid people usually do. They panic and confuse many things for one another. And so Planet X is fused with the end date of an ancient calendar that has no world-ending meaning whatsoever. In fact, several other world-ending theories were associated with this 2012 event, not Planet X alone. To name a few, we have a solar maximum, and even something as far-fetched as an interaction with the Earth and the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. I mean, the galactic center is 25,000 light years away, and somehow they think we can come in contact with a black hole that big without feeling anything decades in advance. Up to now, you can probably tell that all the other dates you have heard are confusions and chores. They are really a big challenge for us, people who want to inform and convince others. You see, all these delays keep making people lose faith, and therefore they stop paying attention to the signs, and they start listening to what the elites want them to listen to. So the message I want to convey here is choose your source of information carefully. A lot of people just want attention, or they simply don't have a good source of information and they themselves got confused. You also need to keep a lookout for your physical surrounding. All the phenomena such as the increase in the wobble, anomalous tidal activities, seismic and volcanic activities. They are clear evidence of something big that is coming and whose gravity is affecting us in many ways. So why can we not know a date of arrival? Well, the information is limited and we can only base our calculations on the little leakage that we have, as well as the blurred dots that we have to connect. So that's basically it for today, guys. I hope this answers your questions of why the dates for Planet X keep being pushed into the future. So if you see any dates out there, check the source and how the date is supported, and keep in mind that it is probably a hoax or a confusion, and don't let it make you lose your faith. I mean, it only comes from people who want attention or are not informed, so why would you lose your faith for that? Stay safe, guys, and keep looking to the sky. Also subscribe to us because we have new videos coming out very often. This is JT at X signing out.